Type the word Jaguar into an AI system. Do you mean the animal, the car, or a sports team? The letters alone do not settle it. Computers do not receive meaning directly. They receive symbols, pixels, or sound samples. To compare ideas, a model first needs a numerical representation. An embedding is that representation, a list of numbers called a vector. The list acts like coordinates, placing an item somewhere inside a learned space. But an embedding is not a dictionary label, and each coordinate is not a neat human concept. Meaning is distributed across many dimensions at once. Real embedding spaces may contain hundreds or thousands of dimensions. We will flatten them into 3 dimensions, knowing that our visible map is only a projection. Here's the useful mental model. An embedding turns an item into a position, so relationships that were vague can become distances, directions, and neighborhoods. How does the space acquire structure from examples? Words that appear in similar surroundings tend to receive representations that behave similarly. During training, a learning objective pulls selected related examples closer and pushes mismatched examples apart. Repeated millions of times, those movements sculpt the space. Cat, kitten, and feline begin to form a neighborhood, engine, highway, and vehicle form another. The boundaries are learned patterns, not hand-drawn folders. In a language model, a token begins as a discrete identifier. An embedding layer converts that identifier into a continuous vector the network can transform. Then context changes the representation. The word bank near river should not occupy exactly the same state as bank near mortgage. The same token enters twice, but surrounding words pull the 2 contextual embeddings toward different neighborhoods. Meaning is not fixed before the sentence is read. No single axis needs to mean animal, finance, or emotion. Those properties can be spread across combinations of many coordinates. To compare 2 vectors, systems often use cosine similarity. It asks how closely their directions align rather than simply measuring the raw length of each vector. A nearby vector is not read like a sentence. The system performs geometry, compare, rank, and return the closest candidates under its chosen metric. So the space is not discovered like a continent. It is constructed by data, architecture, and training objectives. Change those and the map itself changes. Now imagine a search query. How do solar panels work at night? An embedding model converts the entire query into one vector. Every passage in a document collection has already been embedded into the same compatible space. The query can now travel toward passages with related meaning. This is semantic search. A useful result does not need to repeat the exact words. A passage about storing daytime energy may still land nearby. At large scale, a vector index avoids checking every document one by one. It navigates the space to find approximate nearest neighbors quickly. Those neighbors are candidates, not final truth. A retrieval system can filter them, re-rank them, and pass the best evidence into another model. That is one foundation of retrieval augmented generation. Embeddings help locate possible context. The language model then uses the retrieved text to form an answer. The same geometry supports clustering, recommendations, duplicate detection, and anomaly discovery. Different products use the neighborhood in different ways. A sentence embedding compresses a variable length passage into a fixed size vector. That makes comparison efficient, but compression cannot preserve every detail. Embeddings are not limited to text. An image encoder and a text encoder can be trained to place matching pictures and descriptions in a shared space. Show the model a dog photo with the correct caption and pull that pair together, push incorrect captions away. This is contrastive learning made visible. Now, a written phrase can retrieve an image and an image can retrieve text. Their raw forms differ, but their learned coordinates become comparable. Every embedding model builds its own coordinate system. Vectors from different models are usually not interchangeable, even when they contain the same number of dimensions. Replace the encoder, and stored documents may need to be embedded again. Otherwise, the old map and the new query may no longer speak the same geometry. The largest warning is simple. Similarity is not truth. 2 passages can sound alike while disagreeing on the facts. A good neighborhood for product recommendations may be a bad neighborhood for medical evidence. Useful geometry is always tied to a task. Embedding spaces can also preserve stereotypes from training data. Bias may appear geometrically as professions, identities, or attributes being pulled into harmful associations. And remember, our beautiful three-dimensional universe is a projection. Flattening a high-dimensional space can create apparent clusters or distances that were not truly there. Some spaces become crowded in a few dominant directions. Then ordinary cosine similarity may behave less cleanly than our simple compass suggests. An embedding is a representation, not a transcript of the model's reasoning. A nearby point tells us about learned similarity, not why a conclusion is correct. Use embeddings to propose neighbors, then verify provenance, freshness, permissions, and factual support before trusting what those neighbors contain. The reliable workflow is encode the item, place it in a compatible space, compare it, retrieve candidates, and verify the result. Return to Jaguar, add jungle, predator, and spotted fur. And its contextual representation moves toward the animal neighborhood. Add dealership, engine, and luxury sedan, and the same letters move elsewhere. Context reshapes position. Position reshapes what the system retrieves. That is how AI turns meaning into space. Not by understanding coordinates as we do, but by learning a geometry where useful relationships can be measured.